What's up, you guys? I apologize for having a handheld intro to this video, but it's going to be really brief anyway. Today I'm going to show you how I did this look, which is a bronzy, really monochromatic eyeshadow look, and cheeks and lips too. You'll see in my swatches of the products I use that everything's in the same tonal range, and that bronzy color is really on trend for spring 2014. And I just also really like it because this look also pretty much just takes up one eyeshadow. So super easy. I wore it last weekend. I loved it. I thought, let me show you guys how I do it. And very minimal face products as well. No foundation, just concealers, as you will see. So are we ready? I think you're ready. We are starting out with MAC's Prolongwear Concealer in NW25 as an eyeshadow primer. You can just see how nicely this conceals and gives me a great bare canvas for the shadows to stick to, last longer, and all that jazz. Just rubbing it in everywhere is fine. Now I'm taking this eyeshadow from this Too Faced eyeshadow insurance palette called Socialite. It is really pretty and coppery bronze, and I just absolutely love it. And I've actually never really used it before, yet I've had this palette forever. So you can just take any sort of rosy, bronzy type color similar to this, and this is going to be the main shadow we use all over the lid and slightly into the crease, as you will see momentarily. So we'll just pack that shadow onto a thick, dense shadow brush. This is an old one from Coastal Scents. It's always served me pretty well. And pack that bronzy shadow all over the lid. You see I go a little bit too far in my inner corner here, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to clean it up anyway. This look is completely goof proof. I'm just taking that shadow up into the crease slightly. Both eyes done. Now I'm taking a blending brush, any blending brush you have. This one's from Sephora, and I am buffing out the outer edge with no additional product on the brush. This is just going to get rid of that harsh line. You can already tell the difference between the eye I'm blending and the eye that has not been blending. Do this for a long time. I cut out some of it in this video, but go ahead and take your time with this. Let it be very zen, and you'll get that nice blown out smoky type look. Now I'm just going to take any matte, light, creamy colored highlights. This is just one I have in my Z palette, which is a Wet n Wild shadow that I depotted, but anyone will do, it doesn't matter. Just make sure it's matte because you do have a shimmery shade all over the rest of your eye. Now I'm just taking a large brush and fluffing that matte shadow underneath my entire eyebrow. You can see it's quite subtle, and I do apologize for being out of focus here. It will be corrected in a moment. Now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that inner corner where I put a little bit too much eyeshadow. So as you can see, one of the perks of doing your eyes first is that you can clean up after. Now I'm taking this fantastic brush that I got from Walmart, actually, that I use for my concealer, and I'm going back in with my MAC Pro Longwear in NW25 just under the eyes and loosely in that triangle shape, but nothing so harsh or specific. I take what's ever left of the concealer and work it into the sides of my nose where I get some redness. I also sweep it out under all of the eye to sharpen up the outer edge of my eyeshadow. Anything that's left, I dab on some of my more bluish blemishes, like the hyperpigmentation that I may have, a couple of freckles and things like that. Then I go in with a concealer from this Sonia Kashuk Quad, one of the lighter colors, and I cover up any reddish blemishes that I would like to not be seen. And I think this is just a really nice way of keeping your skin looking fresh and glowing and not overloading it with all this foundation and product, but still getting coverage where you need it. If you feel like you need more coverage, you can of course opt for a tinted moisturizer or even a full face of foundation. But since this was just for me going outside in real life, this was the
way I decided to hide my blemishes and perfect my skin. I'm also taking the concealer from the back of my hand. I put a large amount on there and I'm just picking it up from the back of my hand where I need it so as not to potentially recontaminate the concealer and keep it nice and clean. I'm also using a damp beauty blender and patting it into the skin to give me a really nice natural blend with still lots of good coverage. I love the beauty blender for this and pretty much any sort of blending. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on my brows. First, I am just using the spoolie from Anastasia's Brow Wiz and combing them out. And I'm excited because it's brow time, and brows are one of my favorite part of makeup, even though I don't do too much. I'm so bummed about this. This is my second Anastasia pencil that was dried when I ordered it. And I love the pencil, but this is pretty much unacceptable. I don't know if I'm going to brave trying it again. I may opt for another pencil next time, maybe a MAC one. I do love the shade of this though. This is medium ash. And I like to fill in my brows from the top. I find that adding too much to the bottom sort of makes them look more droopy and pulls the eye down. So I want to lift everything up, so that's where I add a bit of color with the brow pencil to the top part of my eyebrow and to the arch, which I accentuate only very lightly. I don't like too high of an arch. Nobody's two brows are exactly the same, so look at where you might need something for one brow that you don't need for another. For this brow, I need to do a little bit more work in the tail and front regions. Then I go ahead and set that lightly with MAC's Brow Set in Beguile. The truth is, no brow gel keeps my brows in place no matter what, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. This is Josie Maran's Argan Illuminizer, and as you can see, it's sort of the same tone as the shadow, just much brighter and more shimmery. So I'm going to apply this to the tops of my cheeks. One thing I hate about this pump is that it always squirts out way too much product. Drives me insane. I would not repurchase it for that reason alone, even though, as you can see, the glow that it gives you is quite lovely, and it catches the light beautifully for that do it look. Then I go ahead and take my beauty blender, because this product can sometimes come off a bit patchy when you look at it under fine lights. I go ahead with my damp beauty blender and just tap it in and make sure it's seamless and not patchy at all. Now back to the eyes, I'm just going to tight line with my NARS eyeliner in Via Veneto, and you could use any black eyeliner in the world for this, just something that doesn't smudge. This makes your lashes look fuller, thicker, without taking away from your eyelid space by doing a full-on line of eyeliner, and it's easier for that reason too. Now I am taking a brown eyeliner for my waterline. It's just a bit more natural, and I like how it makes my brown eyes sort of pop more. This one's by Napoleon Paradis. I like it. I don't love it. Now I am curling my lashes, and the camera unfortunately cut out when I put a little bit of the Socialite on a pencil brush underneath my lower lash line as well. So just do that and take your time to blend it. Now, this is crazy, guys, but I'm actually using the lash card to put on my mascara. It's not really pretty to watch me do it. It's kind of awkward, but I must say that this does help me kind of go more buck wild with my mascara without being afraid of it smudging onto my eyelid. So I do get fuller, longer looking lashes when I use the lash card. I got it in a Birchbox or an Ipsy bag, I believe. And I would never actually go ahead and purchase these, of course. I would just go ahead and make my own if I want to continue using them. But so far, I actually like using that as part of my mascara application process. So I applied some mascara to the lower eyes as well. And those are the eyes completely done now. Now we're going to go back to finish off the face. I'm going to take the Hourglass powder in dim light and put this all over my face. Since I didn't use foundation, this will give me just that hint of coverage, a soft focus effect. I love, love, love this powder. You may have heard other people raving about it. Everything they say is true. I completely agree. And this will also set the little bits of concealer that I put on earlier as well, making sure to particularly focus it around my T-zone where I can get a smidge oily, where any makeup could potentially break up, but the powder helps me perfectly. It serves all my needs. Now I'm taking MAC's Alpine Bronze, which is a limited edition blush, unfortunately, but I'm sure you can find a similar shade. I think NARS's Laguna would be pretty similar. Even NYC Sunny would be kind of similar if you added something shimmery on top. Just any way to get that bronzy color. Benefits Rocket Tour would be similar too. There are tons of options. I'm sure you can think of some. And I'm being imprecise with this, blending it on the backside of my cheek, up into the hairline. That's just how I like to apply my blush. I think it works for my face. Up into the temples with whatever is left on the brush, sort of how you would use a bronzer, and on the jawline as well. Now we're moving on to the lips, and I'm going to use MAC's Strip Down. Is it Strip Down? I believe, no. Darn. I can't remember. I can't remember which lip pencil this is, but I'll list it below for you guys. And I'm slightly cheating my lip shape ever so lightly by exaggerating the line. This is a nice pinky nude color. And I like using this with pretty much any lip look because it matches my natural lip color quite well. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in just a little bit, a thin layer, filling in the entire lip so that my lipstick stays on longer. Now, what I did for lipstick is a little weird, but how I figured this out, first I'm going to conceal. I have this little red freckle on my Cupid's bow that I've always had. So whenever I put on my lipstick, I feel like it stands out so much more for some reason. So I put in the extra effort to go ahead and conceal that. It also brightens up the Cupid's bow, which makes your upper lip look fuller. Now for lipstick, this is kind of weird, and I figured this out by accident. First, I'm taking NARS's Honolulu Honey, which is quite an orangey nude shade, and putting that on. And when I first did this look, I thought this is what I would wear, but I thought it was much too nude for all of the monochrome bronzy colors on my face. So I went over the top with Too Faced's Creme lipstick in Spice Baby, and you can see this has a bit more of a rosy pink spiced color, and then I found this combination to be actually quite perfect for the bronzy eyes and cheeks. It's just pink enough, it's just bronze enough, it's just nude enough, and this Creme formula is shiny enough, so I see absolutely no need to overdo it with a lip gloss on top. So that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, really on trend for right now, but also something that's quite classic because it's so easy to do. Bronzy colors are gorgeous. Golden, glowy skin is gorgeous too. Who doesn't want that? So make sure you subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. I love responding to you guys. And until my next video, bye.